Ethan Carter worked in a quiet office in Virginia. He was a data analyst for a private company that helped the government with defense projects. Most days, his job was simple. He looked at satellite data and checked for strange signals or changes in space activity. It was not exciting, but it paid well and gave him time to think. One evening, while going through the latest satellite logs, Ethan saw something strange. A few numbers didn't match up. The satellite had picked up a signal that didn't fit any known pattern. It was short, soft, and buried deep in cosmic noise. At first, he thought it was just a mistake. But when he checked the data from the past week, the same pattern showed up again. And again, always in the same part of the sky. Ethan was curious. He ran the data through several filters and analysis tools. The signal became clearer. It looked like it was made on purpose, not by nature. Maybe it was from a secret satellite. Maybe someone was testing new tech. But Ethan had seen secret tests before. This felt different. He didn't report it right away. Instead, he called someone he trusted. Madison Green was an old friend. She now worked at a government station that tracked objects in space. They had met years ago in a training program and kept in touch. "Maddie, I found something weird," Ethan said on the phone. "It might be nothing, but it keeps showing up. Want to take a look?" She agreed. He sent her the files. A day later, Madison called him back. Her voice was low and serious. "Ethan, this is not a mistake. I cross-checked it with our data. We picked up something in the same area last week. We just didn't see it because it was cloaked." "Cloaked?" he asked. "Invisible," she said. "Or close to it. Whatever it is, it's hiding. But not very well anymore." They started working together in secret. Madison used tools at her station to scan deeper into the part of the sky where the signal came from. The readings showed objects moving in a slow, careful pattern. They were not fast like meteors. They didn't match any known spacecraft. They were large, cold, and quiet. Too quiet. After 2 weeks of tracking, they were sure. There were several objects just outside Earth's orbit. They had no transponders, no ID codes, and made no contact. But they were watching Earth, waiting, listening. Madison whispered the thought first. "They're not ours." Ethan didn't want to believe it. Aliens? It sounded crazy. But the more they looked, the more real it became. They decided to pull in one more person. Jake Simmons, an old friend of Ethan's, used to be a Navy pilot. He now worked on private space flight designs. He had access to small probe systems used for meteor tracking. Jake was skeptical at first. "You think aliens are just sitting out there, watching us?" "Not think," Madison said. "We know. We just can't prove it the usual way." Jake agreed to help. He launched a private probe from a testing site in Nevada. The probe had a special camera and flew in a high arc near the edge of orbit. 3 days later, the probe sent back images. At first, the pictures looked like empty space, but under infrared light, shapes began to appear. Long, sharp outlines. Not smooth like human ships. Alien. They had proof now. The ships were real, and they were watching. Ethan sat in silence after seeing the images. He felt cold. The world was not alone, and whatever was out there had stayed hidden for a long time. "They believed they were unseen," he said slowly. "But we noticed. None of them slept well that night. The stars above them no longer felt safe. Something had changed, and they were the first to see it." Madison sat at her desk late into the night. The room was quiet except for the soft hum of computers. She stared at the screen, watching strange waveforms move across the graph. These signals were not normal. They were soft, slow, and repeated at the same time each night. They came from the dark side of the moon. She checked again, using a tool that helped find hidden signals. The pattern was still there. It was not random. It was planned. She felt a chill run down her back. Someone or something was sending signals from a place no human had touched in years. Madison called Ethan right away. "It's not just ships," she said. "They're sending signals. The source is near the moon. I think it's a base." Ethan didn't speak for a moment. "Are you sure?" "Yes. I checked it 3 times. I think it's a command center." Jake joined the call. He was excited and worried. "We can launch another probe. One that flies past the moon. It could get a better look." They worked fast. Jake made changes to the new probe. It had stronger sensors and better cameras. The launch was quiet. No one knew but them. The probe flew through space, quiet and small. After 2 days, it passed near the dark side of the moon. The first images came back. They showed large shapes in the shadows. The ships were resting in a wide crater. They were dark, almost invisible, but the heat sensors caught their outline. Strange towers stood near them. It looked like a base. One image was clearer than the rest. It showed lights, blue and green, blinking in a slow pattern. The ships were not just hiding. They were talking to each other. Ethan looked at the pictures and felt sick. This isn't just spying. They're planning something. Madison nodded. "We need help. We can't keep this between the 3 of us." They contacted an old group of friends and workers. Some were scientists. Some were ex-military. All of them were smart and trusted. They shared the images, the signals, and their thoughts. The group met online, using encrypted calls. Everyone agreed it was real. The aliens were here. They had a base, and they were watching Earth. One woman, Dana Brooks, looked closely at the signal. She was a software expert. She noticed something strange. "There's a pattern in the signal," she said. "It repeats every 12 minutes. It's not just data. It's a map." "A map of what?" Ethan asked. "The signal lines up with our cities, our power grids, and our military bases. They're studying us." Everyone on the call went quiet. Jake broke the silence. "This is more than watching. They're preparing for something. Maybe even an attack." The group decided to form a secret team. They called it Watchtower. They worked from old bunkers and unused labs. They shared data and made plans. Their goal was to learn as much as possible, fast. Madison and Ethan used their jobs to hide their research. Jake built new probes and tools. Dana worked on the signals. Others tracked the skies. One night, Dana called Ethan. She sounded worried. "I think they know we're watching them. The signal has changed. It's faster." And I picked up something else. A new sound, like a warning. Ethan felt his heart beat faster. "Do you think they'll move soon?" "I don't know. But we should be ready. They were hiding for a reason. If they know we found them, they might act." The stars still looked the same. The world below went on as usual. People laughed, worked, and slept. They had no idea that just beyond the sky, hidden ships were waiting. Madison looked out the window of her station. The moon hung quiet and bright, but she knew better now. In its shadow, something alien was awake, and Earth was running out of time. The group called Watchtower worked day and night. Each person had a job. Some watched the sky. Some studied signals. Some built tools. They knew they had little time. Ethan stayed in his office late. He went through data every night, hoping to learn more about the alien ships. Madison helped him from her station. She used new software to scan deeper into space. Jake tested new probe designs. Dana spent her time with the strange signal. She looked at every line of code. One night, Dana called a meeting. Her voice was sharp. "I found something new," she said. "It's not just a map. The signal is growing. More data is being added. It shows new targets." "What kind of targets?" Madison asked. "Cities, power plants, military bases, even some dams. They're collecting full layouts." Jake frowned. "They're planning to hit us. They want to know what to break." Everyone looked at each other. It was clear now. This was not just watching. It was planning. The aliens were getting ready for something big. They needed help. Quietly, the team reached out to others: scientists, old soldiers, engineers, and even hackers. People who didn't ask questions but wanted to protect Earth. Slowly, the network grew. Across the country, old bunkers and bases were reopened. Some were left from the Cold War. They were hidden deep in deserts or under mountains. Now they came back to life. Lights turned on. Machines started again. It felt like preparing for war. Jake and a small team started building new tools. They made drones that could fly high and quiet. Some were shaped like meteors. Others looked like space junk. But inside, they had sensors, cameras, and even small weapons. Donna shared her work with other coders. Together, they built programs to break the alien signal. They tried to talk back, but the aliens never replied. The signal changed again. It became harder to read, as if the aliens were hiding more now. Ethan watched all of this unfold. He felt proud, but also afraid. Earth was waking up, but would it be in time? One evening, Madison found something strange. A set of small objects were moving toward Earth. They were not ships. They were too small. Maybe probes. Maybe weapons. "They're testing our defense," she said. "They want to see how we react." The group called a meeting. They had to act. They couldn't wait anymore. Ethan spoke first. "We need to go public. Not with the full truth, but with enough. People need to know something is coming." Jake shook his head. "If we tell them everything, people will panic. But maybe we can leak some of it, just enough to push leaders into action." They agreed. The team released some of the images and data to a trusted news contact. It was shared as a mystery: strange ships near Earth, hidden signals, unknown objects moving in orbit. The story spread fast. People around the world saw the pictures. Some called it fake. Others believed. Within days, governments started asking questions. Space agencies checked their data. Quiet meetings were held. Plans were made. Something was changing. Humanity was waking up. Madison watched the news from her station. She saw fear in people's eyes, but also strength. People were talking, thinking, preparing. Back in the bunker, Dana finally cracked a new part of the signal. It showed a countdown, numbers moving slowly down day by day. "It's a timer," she said. "We have 10 days left. Then something big will happen." Ethan felt the weight of those words. 10 days. That was all they had. He looked at the others. "Then we use every hour. We fight back. We let them know we're not blind anymore." Outside, the night sky was full of stars. But now, every light held a question. The aliens thought they were unseen. But humans had noticed, and humans were getting ready. The night was quiet, but something was wrong. Ethan woke up to a call from Madison. Her voice was tense. "The Western power grid just went down," she said. "It's not a small problem. It's huge." Ethan sat up quickly. "You think it's them?" "Yes, and satellites are going dark too." One by one, he rushed to the bunker. The others were already there. Dana was typing fast, trying to see what systems were still working. Jake was checking on the drones. "3 of our satellites are gone," Madison said. "They didn't fall. They just stopped sending signals." "EMP weapons?" Jake asked. "Maybe, or something we don't know about yet." Then came the images. Cities in the west were in the dark. Planes had to land without lights. Traffic lights stopped. Phones were dead. People were confused and scared. And then came the flashes in the sky. High above Earth, small points of light exploded. Alien ships had attacked key satellites, not with missiles, but with focused beams. Clean, fast, and quiet. It was the first move. The Watchtower team acted fast. Jake launched 3 of the stealth drones. They moved high above the clouds, unseen. Each one had cameras and sensors. One flew near an alien ship. For the first time, They saw the ship up close. It was long, dark, and covered in smooth plates. No windows, no markings. It moved without sound. But now small cracks were showing in its cloak. The drones could see it. "The cloak is failing," Dana said. "Our signal disruption is working." The team used everything they had. Old railgun platforms were turned back on. They were hidden deep underground and could shoot metal rods at high speed into space. Madison found a pattern. "They're targeting satellites near military bases. We have to stop them now." Jake gave the order. "Fire." The railguns fired. In space, metal rods shot through the dark. One hit an alien ship. It cracked open and spun away. Another missed. The third one hit the edge of a second ship, cutting off part of it. The aliens fought back, but humans were ready. The drones released pulse blasts that messed with alien sensors. The aliens fired at the drones, but they were small and fast. On the ground, people saw lights in the sky, bright flashes, silent fights in the upper atmosphere. Some thought it was a meteor shower. Others knew the truth. Ethan was helping guide the drones. He watched as one of them flew close to a damaged alien ship. "Get a scan before it falls," he said. The drone scanned the ship and sent back data. It showed heat lines, power cores, and weak points. But just as it finished, the alien ship fired one last shot. The screen went dark. "Drone 3 is gone," Jake said. Ethan sighed. "But we got the scan. That matters." Suddenly, alarms rang. A small alien craft had landed in the desert, not far from the bunker. "We have to stop it before it sends a message," Madison said. A team of 5, including Ethan, grabbed weapons and left in a truck. They found the ship half buried in sand. It was damaged and smoking. A tall figure stepped out. It had 4 limbs, dark armor, and glowing eyes. It moved fast. They opened fire. The creature dodged and fired back with a strange weapon. The team spread out. Jake threw a flash bomb. The creature stopped moving for 1 second. That was enough. Ethan shot it in the chest. It fell. He walked closer and looked down at it. The armor was cracked. The creature was still alive but weak. It looked at him, not with hate, but with curiosity. "We're not as weak as you thought," Ethan said softly. Back at the bunker, Dana watched the countdown. It kept going. But now, something had changed. The aliens knew humans had noticed, and humans could fight. The first battle was over. Earth had survived. For now, Ethan sat on the edge of the bed in the bunker. He had not slept in a day. His mind kept going back to the alien he had shot. It was still alive, locked deep underground. They had sealed the room and set up cameras. The alien did not speak, but it watched, always watched. Donna and Madison studied the scans from the drone. They had found weak spots in the alien ship's design. The power cores were placed in the middle. If hit right, the whole ship could shut down. "We can build a focused weapon," Madison said. "Something that hits the core directly." Jake nodded. "Let's get started." The team split into smaller groups. Some worked on the new weapons. Others built traps in case more ships landed. Dana focused on the countdown. 6 days left, she said. "We're halfway through." All over the world, people had started to notice the changes. News reports talked about strange lights. Governments spoke carefully, but more military planes filled the skies. Some people built shelters. Others prayed. In the bunker, time moved fast. The team worked around the clock. Madison found something strange in the signals, a new code hidden deep inside. "This part looks like a voice pattern," she said. Dana ran it through a program. A low, broken voice came out. "Observe, record, report, destroy." No one spoke. The message was clear now. The aliens were not here to make peace. They were here to study and then attack. Ethan looked at the screen. "They saw us as insects, something small, easy to crush. That night, the alien in the cell tried to move. It touched the wall with its hand. The lights in the room blinked. It was trying to hack the system. Dana shut down power to the room and changed the locks. It's more dangerous than we thought. They decided to move the alien to a deeper room, one with no connection to any computer. 2 guards stayed outside the door. Madison built a new drone, smaller than before. It was fast and could fly into tight places. She called it Whisper. It can fly inside the alien ships and send back video. She said, "We need to know what's inside." Jake launched it the next night. Whisper flew high, hidden by the dark sky. It slipped into the damaged alien ship still floating above Earth. The video feed showed long dark halls. The ship was quiet. No signs of life. Machines lined the walls. Strange symbols glowed. Whisper found a room full of screens. On them were images of Earth's cities, power grids, and water supplies. There were red circles drawn over each. "They're ready to hit everything at once," Madison said. Whisper kept going. It found a chamber full of tall tubes. Inside each one was a sleeping alien. Hundreds of them. "They're not just watchers," Dana said. "They're soldiers, waiting." Suddenly, a light turned on in the ship. Whisper flew back fast. A beam shot through the hallway, but missed. The drone escaped and sent all data back. The team now had proof. The ships were full of warriors, and they were about to wake up. "We have to hit them before they hit us," Jake said. Ethan agreed. "Tomorrow night, we launch everything. All the weapons, all the traps. We give Earth a fighting chance." Dana updated the timer. 5 days left. We make it count. Outside, the stars looked calm. But war was coming. Earth was not ready, but it was no longer blind. The aliens had come in secret. They had watched, planned, and waited. But now, humans had seen them, and humans had a plan too. It was time to fight back. The sun had not yet risen when the team met in the main room of the bunker. The air was heavy. No one smiled. Today, they would strike first. Ethan stood by the large table. A map of Earth was on the screen, with red dots showing known alien ships. They had found 6 large ships and many smaller ones. "We hit the weak spots," Ethan said. "We know where the cores are. We know how to reach them. We hit fast. We hit hard." Jake nodded. "Drones are ready. Railguns are charged, and the sky traps are active." Madison added, "I've updated Whisper. It will lead the attack on the closest ship." Dana checked the countdown. 4 days left. If we wait longer, they will wake up. The team worked through the day. Across the world, their allies did the same. Old bases came back to life. Engineers checked systems. Pilots ran drills. Code teams made sure the alien signal was blocked. By night, everything was set. Whisper took off first. It flew toward the large ship above the ocean. It carried a small but strong bomb, aimed for the power core. Behind Whisper, 2 other drones followed. They flew high, then dropped down fast. One aimed for a ship above South America. The other flew toward the ship near Asia. The moment came. "Go," Ethan said. The drones sped forward. On the screens, the team watched as Whisper entered the ship again. The hallways were dark, but the core room was glowing. The bomb dropped. The ship shook. A bright light flashed. Then, silence. Whisper's signal was gone. "Did we get it?" Jake asked. Dana checked. "Yes. The ship is falling." The second and third drones struck next. One hit the side of the ship, damaging it badly. The third drone got inside and exploded near the core. That ship, too, began to fall. Then the aliens reacted. A message was sent from the largest ship. A new signal. It was strong and full of noise. The ground shook. "They're waking up the others," Madison said. In the sky, the remaining ships started to move. They dropped small crafts toward Earth, fast and sharp like arrows. The railguns fired again. One small craft was destroyed midair. Another hit a trap and exploded, but some made it through. In cities, strange lights appeared in the sky. People looked up and saw the crafts land. Soldiers ran to defend. Sirens rang. The world was now in the fight. Back at the bunker, alarms sounded. "One is heading this way," Dana said. Ethan grabbed his gear. "We hold the line. We can't let them reach the core base." The small craft landed in the hills above them. 3 alien soldiers stepped out. They moved quickly and spread out. Jake led the defense team. They used old but strong weapons. Guns, traps, and even fire. One alien was hit by a falling rock from a tine blast. Another stepped into a trap and couldn't move. The third one got close to the bunker door. Madison fired from the tower. The alien fell. It was over fast. But the message was clear. "They're testing our defenses," Ethan said. Dana looked at the countdown. 3 days now. They'll come with more next time. Still, they had done damage. 3 ships were down. 1 was badly hurt. Only 2 big ships remained strong. Ethan sat with the others that night. No one spoke for a while. They drank coffee and watched the screens. "We can win this," Madison said quietly. "We have to," Jake replied. "Earth depends on us." Ethan looked at the stars again. They had always seemed quiet, peaceful. Now, they were full of danger. But humans were not running, not hiding. They had seen the enemy, and now they were fighting back. Tomorrow would be harder, but they would be ready. The last 3 days moved fast. Each hour brought a new alert, a new attack, or a new chance to strike back. Ethan barely slept. His eyes stayed on the screens. He watched the skies, tracked the ships, and checked in with teams around the world. "One ship is moving toward the Atlantic," Dana said. "It's trying to reach deep water, maybe to hide." "We can't let it," Ethan said. "We take it down now." Madison worked fast. She sent 2 sea drones after it. These drones were built for speed. They had torpedoes and small charges. As they moved through the water, the alien ship dove deeper, but it was slower than before. The first drone hit the side of the ship. A loud boom followed. Water rushed into the alien hull. The second drone hit the bottom, shaking the sea. The ship started to sink. Back at the bunker, Dana smiled. Only 1 big ship left. But the last ship was the largest. It was now in low orbit, just above Earth. It had not moved much before. Now it was coming down. "They're ready for their final move," Jake said. "And so are we." The Watchtower team had one last plan. They would use the data Whisper sent before it was lost. That data showed the weak spots. If they hit those, they could bring down the ship before it reached the ground. Old rockets were taken from storage. Engineers worked fast to change the warheads. Instead of fire, they carried EMP pulses. These could shut down the ship without a blast. Ethan stood with the team in the control room. "This is our last shot. We hit them now, or we lose everything." The countdown began. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The rockets launched. 4 missiles flew high into the sky. Trails of white smoke followed them. People across the world looked up and saw them go. The alien ship saw them too. It turned and fired beams of light. 1 rocket was hit and fell. The others kept going. The first EMP pulse hit the side of the ship. Lights on the ship blinked. The second pulse hit closer to the center. "It's working," Dana said. "Systems are failing." The third rocket flew straight into the power core. A flash of light lit the sky. The ship stopped moving. Then it began to fall. Pieces broke off. Fire trailed behind it. It fell into the ocean, far from land. Silence filled the room. Then the screen showed calm. No more alien ships. No more strange signals. "We did it," Madison said. She looked around. "We really did it." Ethan sat down slowly. He felt the weight of it all. The fear, the fight, the loss, but also the hope. Reports came in from around the world. The alien crafts had stopped. Many fell where they stood. Some just shut down. Cities began to recover. Power came back. Planes flew again. People came out of hiding. In the bunker, the team opened the secure cell. The alien inside was weak now. Its armor faded. Its eyes looked tired. Ethan stood in front of it. You watched us for years. You thought we would break. But we fought. We stood up. The alien said nothing, but it nodded once, slowly. Jake walked in with a small device. It sent a signal into space, a warning. One simple message: Earth is not weak. Dana turned off the countdown timer. It had reached 0. The clock is done, she said, but our work is just starting. They would study the wreckage, learn from the tech, train others, build better defenses. Ethan walked outside. The sun was rising. The sky was clear. Birds flew again. The world was still here. Humans had noticed, and humans had won. Now, the stars would know. Earth fights back.